bit about the actual event, the Panas Farmers Market, when I do show up at around 4:30. That's the time where it gets going. Why 4:30?
Well, our market is on a weekday, of course, on Fridays, and that's a little different than Taylorville's being on a Saturday. Many of our vendors might have day jobs or other business activities during the day and might not be able to get set up until right till the last minute. And same thing goes for the customers. They have their day jobs and would like to come out after work, maybe. So I've had feedback from both vendors and customers that said having a uniform start time kind of allows both to have a big crowd of people available to come by and a good selection of stuff that's not all picked over.
Yeah.
So it's kind of working out well.
Great reasoning right there, and very easy to understand why the occupations. Everyone's got jobs out there, so that makes a lot of sense. So that's really great. So showing up at 4:30, and they start selling at 4:30 out there. So that's really perfect. And you talk about local businesses, of course. Those vendors are all out there, and that's really good to hear, because when you're buying different products or you're out at a farmer's market, you want to be talking to the professionals, and that's usually the business owners. I'm sure a lot of the businesses and the vendors out there, they're with their business owners.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Awesome. All right. So where are we going to find out there at the Pana Farmers Market? What kind of stuff do you guys have?
So there's really wide-ranging vendors, but lots of baked goods. There's lots of baked good vendors. They bring breads, cookies, pies, cupcakes.
I still got you. Oh.
Goods for our 5 vendors, and they just have tons of good baked goods. They're very consistent. There's also with locally raised fresh meat. Dayton's Farm, Casner Farms bring fresh meat. Berries and eggs. Ruth Ann Culberson brings eggs and berries very consistently when she has them. There's craft vendors with art and jewelry and soaps and candles, spices. Shay Cohen from Green Sky Coffee, he brings fresh coffee that's ground from fresh beans right there on the spot. He's getting these beans directly from the cartels of South America and bringing it to Pana Farmers Market.
It's the best. Wow.
It's really amazing, the stuff we get.
Wow, that is really cool. That's what I mean when you're going out to these farmers markets, especially Pana Farmers Market. It seems like there is just so many different items to look at and to purchase. That is really awesome. Let's start with food. Let's start with locally grown produce. So you were talking about baked goods and local meat. That's all really great stuff. Talk to me about the locally grown produce. Why are these vendors not allowed to buy produce at auction and bring it for resale?
Well, the auction that people bring to the market, when it's grown at their home or at their farm, we could easily identify the source of the produce. That's important because it is possible for produce to be exposed to bacteria such as E. coli or Salmonella or Listeria from being handled improperly. And in the extremely unlikely event that someone would get sick from produce sold at our market, we need to be able to track down the source of where that was grown to prevent, any more problems. When produce is bought at a metro market like Soulard Market and then brought to Pana, it really makes it difficult for us to ensure, product safety.
Again, makes a lot of sense right there. And it's clear to the reason why that rule is in place. Public safety, product safety, and those are all very important to Pana Farmers Market there. So like you said, these are all local vendors and they're all bringing their own stuff that they locally grown.
Yes, that's right.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. You talked about got our local produce in there, and that's a thing that I have enjoyed when I got to go out to some farmers markets out there. The people that are selling you produce, you can ask them questions about the baking process, the cooking process with vegetables, how they react to heat. Is that something I can find at the Pana Farmers Market?
Oh yes, yeah. There's it's called cottage foods. Illinois has a very specific set of rules around things that are baked and brought to farmers market, and it's called cottage food laws. And you'll learn a lot by talking to the vendors. They know all about it. They know what they need.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to me a little bit about the baked goods. I found an everything seasoning bread loaf, and I never thought I'd see that, but I found it at a farmer's market. I mean, that's what these great things do. And any type of unique products that come to your mind right now?
Unique. Well, we've recently seen people bringing freeze-dried candy and fruit and stuff like that, and that's becoming kind of popular.
It really has.
Some of that, and we do have a vendor that brings a couple squishy machines down, and she makes ice cold squishies for people, and that's very popular. And
Those are some great examples you brought up right there. Those are the freeze-dried candies. That's taken society by storm. I'm seeing like real brick and mortar stores with that. But also, you can really find those at farmers markets a lot. That is really cool. It's good to see that. What's a squishy? You just brought up a squishy. What is that?
Or slushy,
Oh,
like
I get you. A slushy. Yeah, you make that makes a little bit more sense to me there. But that's beautiful. There's a vendor out there making slushies.
Little Simpsons humor, I think, squishies.
yeah, exactly. That is really awesome. But you can get a slushie out there at the farmers market. That is really cool. So there's definitely electrical out there if you're plugging in some of these machines.
Yeah, that's right. The Chautauqua's got plenty of electrical outlets for things like the coffee grinder. Shay uses it for his coffee grinder. The squishy machines, they use the electrical. Some people want to plug in video, whatever. So it's very plentiful. There is a water tap down there too for fresh water.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and also it's not just foods, baked goods, locally grown produce. There's also fun items to be looking at. You talked a little bit earlier, some soaps. What other kind of things are out there other than food?
Well, it's the vendors it's a revolving selection. So I remember there was one year where we had a vendor that brought lots of tie-dyed items, tie-dyed T-shirts and dresses and things, and that was a big hit. And we've seen vendors bring like dream catchers and framed puzzles. There was a lady that brought framed puzzles, which I bought a couple. I liked them, and there was handmade art. There was paintings one time, so it's really kind of runs the gamut.
Yeah, absolutely. You never really do know what you're going to find when it comes to the items out there at these farmers markets. When it comes to the baked goods, the meats, and the locally grown produce, we can know a little bit more what to expect here. But we're speaking Ben, currently volunteer at the Pana Farmers Market. It's just a really fun conversation so far. Before we take our time out here, Ben, can you let the public know one more time about the days and the times of the Pana Farmers Market?
The Pana Market is at the Kitchell Park Chautauqua building in Pana every Friday, starting sharp at 4:30 p.m. to really whenever it ends.
Right.
And it will run through August 30th.
Love that. It says 6:30, but as long as the vendors and the people want to be out there, that's cool that you guys have that little rule in place there. That's awesome. We're speaking once again with Ben Moore. He's a volunteer at the Pana Farmers Market here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show, brought to you by our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. Along with Pizza Man, Norin's Hardware, Your Pana Save a Lot, Whiskey Bill's Saloon and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited. I'm Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Pana Morning Show. We'll be right back.
Your information station, WTIM.
It's now RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and Chicago wheat all lower at this hour. July corn down 9 3/4, 423 3/4. September corn down 10 1/4, 429 1/4. New crop December 441 1/4, down 10 1/2. July beans 1164 1/2, down 10 3/4. August beans down 13, 1147 1/2. New crop November 1114 1/2, down 16. July wheat down 7 1/2, 545. September wheat down 7 1/2, 563 1/2. July bean meal 367.60, down 520. July bean oil 43.23, down 26 cents. Livestock market at this hour. August feeders 259.37, up 47 cents. June live cattle down 7 cents, 188.82. July lean hogs up 47 cents, 90.42. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Save a lot on all your summer favorites this week at your locally owned Pana Save a Lot. Tim and Eric here with the deals.
Family pack chicken wings, $1.99 a pound.
California red cherries, only $2.49 a pound.
12-ounce packages of Coburn Farm shredded cheese, only $1.99.
USDA choice eye of round or sirloin tip steaks, $4.99 a pound.
Boneless center cut pork chops, $2.49 a pound.
And fresh peaches or nectarines, only $1.49 a pound.
These prices are good through Tuesday, June 25th at your locally owned Pana Save a Lot.
Hope to see you soon.
Are you planning a staycation?
What's that?
When you take a break and stay home.
I see. Kind of like a vacation from vacations.
Precisely. And Jansen's Heating and Air wants to make sure your summer home is incredibly cool and comfortable.
You deserve a break, even if it's in your own bed.
Let's face it, the only thing more stressful and annoying than an overpriced, overbooked, and overcrowded excursion is discovering your HVAC repair guy tacked on a ton of extra charges.
That's why Jansen's is strictly straightforward in our pricing practices.
We won't embark on a job until you've been briefed with an honest, clear, and comprehensive cost analysis.
The price we say is the price you pay. Period.
If we end up spending more, that's on us.
Not you.
We keep your stay-at-home haven cool and cozy so you can enjoy your private room, a personal chair at the pool, and all-inclusive dining from your fridge. So before you staycate the premises, call Jansen's 562-5201.
JansonsHeating.com.
Attention hunters and gun owners, you must get to Locked and Loaded Sportsman Paradise in Pana. Take the short drive and shop Central Illinois' premier gun shop. Come see the huge inventory of firearms, ammo, hunting supplies, and accessories. In stock now, custom designed Locked and Loaded t-shirts and headgear. Brush up on your shooting skills at the indoor range featuring 7 shooting lanes. If it has to do with firearms or hunting, you'll find it at Locked and Loaded on Route 16 East in Pana. Like them on Facebook.
Your information station.
And welcome back into WTIM's Pana Morning Show, brought to you by our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Your Pana Save-A-Lot, Whiskey Bill's Saloon and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors as well, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. We've been streaming live on Facebook and YouTube TV, TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. We've been speaking with Ben Moore, volunteer at the Pana Farmers Market. We're going to hop right back into that Farmers Market conversation here with Ben Moore. We thank him for being in here with us. Let's talk a little bit about permits. Very important thing when we're talking about the farmers market, and especially the Pana Farmers Market. What message do you have out there for the people concerned about permits?
Well, thank you for asking. They can, some of the vendors can require a permit, but even the Pana Chamber of Commerce runs the farmers market. It's really not our role to verify the proper permit for what you are selling.
Right.
Vendors really are encouraged to check with the Christian County Health Department and Pana City Hall, just to make sure that what you're selling, either does or does not require a permit, and get that taken care of. Either of those entities, the City Hall or the Health Department, are free to come down to the farmers market and inspect your booth. So just, please make sure that you know what you're doing with permits.
Yeah, absolutely. Great message to send out there. And the good people with the Christian County Health Department, very responsive and very open to answering any questions people out there might have. So if someone, a new vendor might have wanted to get involved with the Pana Farmers Market, is there still time to get involved, or was there a time period for that?
There is always time
Cool.
to get involved with the Pana Farmers Market. You just come on down and say hi and bring your stuff.
That's awesome. It can be that easy right there. And then if you are involved in selling any of the food items that might give you some problems, then you can look for permits. What if you just wanted to be a vendor that sold those dream catchers or soaps or something like that? Is it a little bit more lax?
Really, with crafts, I'm not aware of any type of permit with crafts. If someone wants to talk to me or the Chamber of Commerce, we're pretty easy to get a hold of. You can send a message to our Facebook page, which is Pana Chamber Farmers Market.
Nice.
Or people could call the City Hall, either Nina or Kim at City Hall. They really know how to get a hold of me or anybody on the chamber, and they can get you in contact with someone if you have questions.
Perfect. Yeah, and those questions can be directed Pana Chamber, as Ben Moore just said. Christian County Health Department can answer quite a few of those questions as well. Okay, perfect. We talked so much about what you can find at a Pana Farmers Market every Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. They already had their first one started on June 21st. It sounds like it was a great time out there. Talk to me a little bit more about what we can find at this Pana Farmers Market. We just talked about permits that we were talking a little bit over the break. This can give people problems, and the reason we have these permits.
Yeah, well, there's some kind of things actually that may not be allowed at the farmers market. Butters and dairy, canned or pickle foods may actually be restricted due to Illinois law.
Yeah.
Again, the Christian County Health Department is going to be the one that's going to tell you, about your specific thing you're wanting to sell. But one thing I forgot to mention is we've had very consistent vendors bringing fresh local honey, and that's always kind of a big hit. So, I did want to throw that in.
Yeah, that's a great thing to throw in there. Is Illinois a honeybee? Are we honey? And this might not be a question for Ben Moore, but we have honey in Illinois?
Oh, yeah. There's 2 different beekeeper groups on Facebook around Central Illinois, and both of those groups have brought honey to our market.
Wow, learning a lot today. And it's been a hit, you said.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, people love Busy Bee Farm is been another what I would consider a 5-star vendor. They're very consistent. They usually come every other weekend, and they not just a jar of honey. They have different honey products that are really, just a big hit and very interesting in what they do with it.
That's really cool. It's cool to see their creativity as well, working honey in with other products. I really love to see that. So before we started talking about those, we were talking about things that were not, and there's some restrictions due to health codes in Illinois and things that you might not see at the farmers market with butters and dairies and canned food. So I do apologize for kind of asking, what will we find out there? But those are some of the restricted things. And again, Christian County Health Department can answer many questions with that. You mentioned some contact information a bit ago. Can you go ahead and name off those places one more time with the chamber, with you, with the health department? Where should people? What should that chain of communication go like?
Definitely, the easiest way is go to our Facebook page, which is Pana Chamber Farmers Market, and send a message through there. That email comes to me and to chamber director. And if someone doesn't use the internet, if you just called Pana City Hall, the two people at the city hall there would definitely get you in touch with Chamber of Commerce or with myself. They know, they've got me on their Rolodex, on their speed dial.
Perfect. Alrighty there. Let's talk a little bit about the local businesses out at the Pana Farmers Market. Do you believe that the owners of these businesses, people that are going out and showing off their items just more than just inside their store, is that bringing a benefit to their businesses in the city?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's definitely, we have had crowds down at the market on the busiest night that I've seen. We have had a crowd of 300 people milling around down there. And you can imagine the word of mouth that would create when you have, up to 300 customers, seeing your products and telling their friends what they saw. I just can only imagine it's probably helpful for a business to come down to the Pana market.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. 300 people, Kitchell Park, really swarms in these farmers markets.
Yeah, they can be a place to park.
Wow, that's really awesome. Usually we only have these types of conversations when we're talking about county fairs and what have you there. But I mean, this is a big driver. Have you heard of people coming out from the city of Pana, not in the city of Pana, traveling to Pana for the farmers market?
Absolutely. I can think of 3 folks by name that come from Decatur to our market because they just think we have a good one or there's something that they like. And then, all these small communities like Tower Hill and Oconee and Nokomis and Millersville, and, people come, we got a good market.
I absolutely see why. It's a Friday night. That's a great time to have it, along with all of the items, all the vendors out there. Kitchell Park, a great place for it. Mr. Ben Moore, we're in our last minute here, but any final words for our listeners out there? Maybe the times and the date for when these farmers markets go?
So Pana Farmers Market for every Friday, 6:30, and it's through August 30th. And, please come support local folks working hard and bringing local products to the market.
Without a doubt. Ben, thanks so much for taking the time being here with us today.
Thank you for having me, Tim. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, without a doubt. That was Ben Moore, volunteer at the Pana Farmers Market. Sounds like a good time. I'm excited for this Friday. I'll be out there. This WTIM Pana morning show is brought to you by our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with Pizza Man, Norin's Hardware, your Pana Save-A-Lot, Whiskey Bill's Saloon and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited. I'm Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Pana morning show. Thank you all for tuning in today.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Payne and Nokomis.
Federal investigators now confirm that a trackside sensor had failed to detect a burning rail bearing in enough time to perhaps prevent the train derailment. Devastated the small town of East Palestine, Ohio. President